8239. This is a hearing on a motion filed by the Attorney General's office. The motion is entitled "A Motion to Modify and to Confirm Child Support Arrearage." Parties in this case are Monica Alvarez and Eli Garcia Marquez, who are present before me on the Zoom application. Mr. Garcia is being represented by the Honorable Attorney Luis Yanez, who is also present at this time. My name is Antonio Rodriguez. I'm the Associate Judge for the Title 4D Court here in El Paso, Texas, also known as the Child Support Court. We are conducting this hearing based on a Zoom applications, since according to the, because of the pandemic crisis that's going on here in El Paso, we're not allowed to conduct hearings in person at the courthouse. However, the Supreme Court of the state of Texas, the Office of the Court Administration, and the Council of Judges here in El Paso have authorized courts to conduct remote hearings, and we're doing so on this Zoom application. All parties have signed in. I am, in accordance with the Texas rules, this matter is being live streamed on the YouTube channel. That is to comply with the Texas rules that we have to keep open courts available to the public. However, as soon as this hearing is concluded, this matter will be taken off that live stream and will no longer be available to the public at that point in time. I'm also recording the evidence on the computer-generated recording system. That is the official recording of this hearing here today. General ground rules that apply in every case. We are doing this on a remote basis and audio problems. Sometimes we may have an audio difficulty, especially if parties talk to each other, talk at the same time. So I'd ask parties to conduct themselves accordingly, not talk over each other. Sometimes the audio doesn't permit us to do that. And I want to make sure we have a complete record of the proceedings here today. So keep that in mind, please. I'm also asking parties to conduct themselves in accordance if they were in court. In fact, you are in court, you are present before me. Those are general rules that apply in every case, so it's not anything unique to your case. With that, let me go ahead and have counsel make an announcement on this case, starting with the Attorney General.
Douglas Knapp for the Office of the Attorney General, ready to proceed.
Luis Yanez on behalf of Mr. Eli Garcia, we're also ready to proceed, Your Honor.
All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and ask the parties. Ms. Alvarez, are you ready to proceed today, ma'am?
Yes, sir, I'm ready to proceed.
And Mr. Eli Garcia, are you ready to proceed today, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, with that being said, then I'll ask both of you, please raise your right hand so I can swear you in. Do you and each of you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Garcia, Ms. Alvarez?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I didn't hear you the first time. Okay, you can now put your hand down. All right, Mr. Knopf, present your case, sir.
At this time, the state will offer its updated financial activity report as Exhibit 1 and ask it be entered into evidence. Parties have stipulated to the admissibility of this financial report, and copies have been provided to all of them and the court by email.
Any objection, Mr. Yanez?
No objection, Your Honor.
Well, the record, the court has received the updated financial report that was sent to the court by email. This financial report, updated date of October the 28th of this year. And at this point in time, the court will admit the updated financial report. We'll go ahead and mark that as State's Exhibit number 2, the financial report. For the record, shows as of the end of October, an arrearage of $61.48. This is as of October 27th.
State calls Ms. Monica Chavez Alvarez. Ma'am, could you please state your name for the court?
Monica Chavez Alvarez.
Where are you working right now?
At Teleperformance.
What do you do there?
I monitor videos for TikTok.
When did you start with this position?
I start working on May the 29th,
Of what year?
2020.
How much do you get paid an hour at this position?
18 an hour,
How many hours do you get a week?
40 per week.
Do you get any overtime?
No, I don't, sir.
Bonuses?
No, sir.
Do you have income from any source that is not your regular employment, including benefits, investments, real estate, oil and gas, any of that?
No, I don't.
Do you have insurance available through your job?
It is available, but I won't be able to afford it.
So the price is not reasonable for covering your child or your children?
Not at this moment.
Do you have any children other than the two before the court today?
No, sir.
If your personal information, such as your home address or telephone number, were disclosed in the final order of the court, would that cause you or the children harm or harassment?
I'm sorry, say that again, you were breaking up.
Oh, I'm sorry. These court orders normally have people's contact information included in the order, such as address and telephone number. If we included that in the order today, would that cause you or the children an increased risk of harm or harassment?
No, sir.
All right. Let me just make sure I'm hitting all my points here. I'll pass the witness.
All right, any questions, Mr. Yanez?
No, I don't have any questions, Your Honor.
State will call Mr. Garcia Marquez.
Okay,
Sir,
go ahead.
please state your name. Oh, apologies.
Yes, sir.
Could you please state your name for the court?
Yes, sir. Eli Jonathan Garcia Marquez.
And oh, apologies, my screen just went down. Ah, there it is again. And you are the father of Estrella and Eli,
Yes, sir.
and they primarily reside with you.
Yes, sir.
How are your children covered for health insurance?
They're under Medicaid.
Do you have access to private health insurance at this time?
No, not at the moment, sir.
Do you know where Ms. Chavez Alvarez is working right now?
Well, I had a little idea, but I just found out right now.
Okay. Do you know if she has any income sources other than the ones she described in her testimony?
Yes.
I'm sorry, you didn't give that response.
No, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Would the inclusion of your personal contact information in the final order of the court lead you or the children to an increased risk of harm or harassment?
No, sir.
So you're okay with your address and your phone being printed in the final order of the court?
Yeah, well, she knows where I live and everything, so it's fine.
Okay. In which case I will pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Yanez, any questions?
Very briefly. In the last couple of years, since you've had actual legal custody of the children, have you received any actual support from the mother of the children?
No, sir.
And you're asking that this honorable court set her obligation of child support pursuant to the guidelines?
You're cutting off. I didn't understand.
You're asking that this court assess child support pursuant to the guidelines, the law of the state of Texas?
Yes, sir.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, any other questions, Mr. Knopf?
Nothing further. The state will rest subject to a brief closing argument.
Okay. All right, the state has rested. Mr. Yanez, anything on your
No, Your Honor, with the rest.
Okay. State's recommendation on this matter?
The state will first argue that this matter is ripe for modification. It's been 3 years and there has been a 20% or $100 change in income since the prior order. Furthermore, there's been a material and substantial change. Ms. Chavez Alvarez has changed employment and is making higher wages. Thus, the state is going to recommend that child support be set in the amount of $627 beginning November 1st and continuing monthly thereafter. That medical support be set at $140 per month beginning that same date, that the children should continue to be covered under the appropriate government health care assistance policy, since neither has access to private health insurance at this time at a reasonable cost. And that there should be a judgment on the past due child support arrears as of yesterday in the amount of $61.48, and that a payback rate should be set on those past due arrears in the amount of $10 per month beginning November 1st, 2020 and continuing monthly thereafter. As both parties have indicated that the disclosure of their address would not lead them to an increased risk of harm or harassment, that there be no finding of non-disclosure. And I believe that's everything from the state.
Mr. Knaus, was the prior order in this case the order that was done in 2018, and that said no child support?
Yes, I'm looking at order hearing held January 19th, 2017, signed August 28th, 2018.
Okay. All right. All right. I just want to make sure the record clear that the last order in this case that was signed by another court, August the 28th of 2018, did not set child support.
Yes, sir.
And that's the last record on file in this case. Okay, Mr. Yanez, you heard the recommendation of the state on this matter.
Yes, Your Honor, we will respectfully ask that this court assess child support pursuant to the guidelines, Your Honor, and we concur in the calculation as expressed by the state of Texas.
Okay. All right, Ms. Alvarez, you heard the recommendation of the state with regard to the modification of the child support. Are you in or disagreement with their recommendation?
Yes, I don't agree with that.
I'm sorry, what?
I don't agree.
Okay, tell me why you're not in agreement, ma'am.
Because right now, first of all, I heard the question that Mr. Ñañez said to Mr. Garcia that I didn't offer any support. There's been a few times that I called Mr. Garcia to offer any help if my kids they needed anything. And his answer is like, he said that they're okay, they don't need anything, that he has everything in control. Also, right now at this moment, I'm working full-time, but also going full-time school. My monthly payments for school, it's $800. And also every time that I have the kids with me, I take care of them. Anything that I buy groceries, also if they need clothes, shoes, anything like that, I also spend money on them. Sometimes I spend money on clothes or shoes, and they take those items with Mr. Garcia, and I don't get those items back. That's okay. It's my kids' clothes, but also I spend money on them.
Okay. All right, anything else, Ms. Alvarez?
I think that's pretty much it.
Okay. All right, thank you, ma'am. Well, in the court's review of this matter, it does appear that the child support that's being recommended is in accordance with the child support guidelines that are recommended or followed through or set out in the Texas Family Code based on your income and based on health insurance available to the child. I believe the guideline amount that's being recommended is the appropriate amount of child support in this case. Therefore, the court will follow the recommendation, set child support at $627 with an additional $140 for the health insurance offered through since the children are covered on the state insurance plan, either CHIP or Medicaid, we'll set the medical support at $140 a month. I will further confirm the arrears in this case. I believe it's only a medical support arrears, unless I'm mistaken. Anyway, the judgment for $61.48. I will follow the recommendation by the Attorney General and set payment on that judgment at $10 a month. That is also commencing on November the 1st. It does appear to the court that both parties have not requested non-disclosure, and if there was a request for non-disclosure of information, that request has been withdrawn or no longer requested by the parties. So at this time, the non-disclosure is, as the court will deem it as being waived on the record. Does that address all the issues, Mr. Canal?
I believe that covers everything, sir.
Mr. Yanez, is that anything else that we need to address that I haven't ruled upon?
Not from us, Your Honor. Thank you. I'm sorry I wasn't mute.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. That'll be the order of the court. So we'll tell parties that if either party is dissatisfied with my ruling here today, do have the right to file an appeal with the referring court. In this case, the referring court is the 383rd District Court, the Honorable Judge Mike Herrera. He is the judge of the 383rd District Court. That court is located on the 11th floor of the courthouse. However, if anybody decides to file an appeal of my decision here today, you do have 3 days. That's under the Texas Family Code. 3 days to file an appeal with the referring court. All right, that will conclude our hearing for today. Parties for their participation today. That concludes the hearing. Parties are now excused. Thank you all very much. Be safe out there. Pandemic crisis is really going crazy out there.
Likewise, Your Honor. Thank you. May we be excused?
Parties are excused. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And Judge, we're ready to proceed with the default.
Okay. Right, Mr. Harvell has not signed in. Ms. Harvell, are you there, ma'am?
Yes, I'm here.
Because I can't see you.
I don't know how to turn on the.
Oh, that's fine, as long as you can hear me and I can hear you.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, all right, very good. Okay, Harvell. All right, the court at this time is calling cause number 2016 DCM 4946. This is a hearing on a motion filed by the Attorney General's office. It is entitled a motion to modify the child support. Parties in this case are Jeffrey Harvell and Isela Harvell. Let the record reflect that this matter was scheduled for a final hearing today, October 29th at 8 o'clock, and it was set for a Zoom hearing today at 9:15. It is now 10 o'clock. Mr. Harvell is not present. The return indicates that he was served with citation back on August the 20th. And that return has been on file for the requisite period of time. And there appears to be no response filed by Mr. Harvell. This matter is being live streamed, is being recorded. We're conducting this hearing on a Zoom application since we cannot appear in court because of the pandemic crisis that's going on. I am recording the hearing on this matter on the computer recording system. Further, this matter is being live streamed on the YouTube channel. That is to comply with the Texas rules that we have to keep open courts available to the public. However, as soon as we finish this hearing here today, that live stream will be taken off the YouTube channel. Last parties not to talk over each other, one person talking at the same time. That is, sometimes we have audio problems, and I want to make sure we have a complete record of the proceedings in this case. So those are the general rules that apply in every case. And so at this time, I'll ask the Attorney General to make an announcement on this matter. Ms. Morris?
Yes, Brooklyn Morris here for the state of Texas as Assistant Attorney General, ready to proceed.
All right, and Ms. Harvell, are you ready to proceed today, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
All right, very well. Okay, Ms. Harville, I'll ask you to please raise your right hand so I can swear you in. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do.
All right, thank you, ma'am. You can put your hand down. Okay. Ms. Morris?
Yes, the state would like to proceed on a default and reiterate that the court takes judicial notice of that services citation that was sent to Mr. Harville on August the 20th of 2020, and that Mr. Harville has had been duly serviced, and citation has been issued, and he has had an opportunity to appear, and he's failed to do so. The state would also like the court to take judicial notice of a prior order and cause number 2016 DCM 4946, which stems from a divorce decree. And so the state will call first Mrs. Harville. Mrs. Harville, can you state your full name for the record?
Yes, Isela Sigala Harval,
And what are the names of the children before the court today?
Madison Lee Harval,
And who is the father of those children?
Jeffrey Lee Harval.
And was Mr. Jeffrey Harville previously ordered to pay child support?
Yes,
And in what amount was that?
$500.
And what of any health insurance coverage was he previously ordered for that as well?
Yes, and the health, vision, and dental.
Health, vision, and dental. And this was all provided to him through his employer or any other means that you might know of?
And as far as I know, employer.
Okay. Has Mr. Harville fallen behind on his payments since that
No, ma'am.
prior order? Okay.
No.
And for the record, that prior order, where did this come from?
I had settled on that amount.
When
for
you
the
say
$500.
settled, okay. And how was this settlement? Where did it come from?
It's something that Jeffrey and myself had spoken about. So I went ahead and, agreed to settle for less than the amount that should have been awarded. And I settled for the $500
Okay. And this was from the divorce decree, correct?
from the divorce decree, yes.
Okay. And how long ago was that?
It's 3.5 years.
Okay.
Almost 4.
So around 2017?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And so you're here today on a modification. Would you agree that to the OAG's calculation that Mr. Harville should be ordered to pay around $884 a month in child support?
Yes.
Okay. And likewise, would you agree with the OAG calculations that Mr. Harville should, based on his private health insurance of medical, dental, and vision, that would be at around $50 per month?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see here. Are you aware of any other sources of income that Mr. Harville has?
Occasionally he does off duties.
Okay. And that would be tied in with, what does he do for a living?
He's a sergeant for El Paso PD.
Okay. So would that be considered like overtime?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. And so what, if anything else, does Mr. Harville receive from working as a police officer? What kind of other benefits?
I know he does his pension, he has the union dues, off duties, whatever's offered to him,
Okay.
and
So
then
you
his
are,
regular pay.
okay. So on top of his regular pay, you are aware that of a form of union dues and pension dues, things like that.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Now, I want to bring your attention to just some housekeeping. Any safety concerns that I need to be aware of, or the court needs to be aware of?
Safety as in my safety?
Your safety, the kids' safety, anything that the court needs to be aware of as we're looking to modify this order?
No, That my daughter and myself I don't think we're in danger, or we have to be precautious with Mr. Harval.
Okay, so if this order was to be drafted today and your information is disclosed, such as your address or phone number, you would be okay with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And also, if this order was to be rendered today, would you allow me to draft it without you having review it first?
No, I would like to review it first.
You would like to sign off on it? That's fine.
Yes.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor. State rest subject to a brief close.
All right. Ms. Harville, do you know if Mr. Harville has any other children other than Madison?
Yes, he has 2 other children.
2 other children? And those 2 other children, are they under the age of 18?
No, they're over the age of 18.
Oh, they're over 18. So he's not
Yes, sir.
ordered to pay child support for those.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Tell me again I didn't get the medical support. What was the provision for health insurance, Ms. Morris? How was that going to be?
So the breakdown is he's currently paying $34 a month in medical, $3 a month in dental, and $13 in vision.
Okay,
So that equals to about $50 a month in private health.
And Ms. Harville, you are aware that he does have health insurance for Madison?
Correct, yes.
Okay, and he does have her covered on his health insurance?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. All right, that's all the questions I have for Ms. Harville. Counsel, how was the child support calculated in this matter?
So based on Mr. Harville's base pay at $3,429 a month and 97 cents, this is a biweekly pay, and it came out to be $884.
Okay.
We are crediting him, we have credited him that union and pension dues that came out to be around $1,338.37, as Mr. Harville pays $584.94 biweekly in pension. And the other half of that goes to his union.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Anything else, Ms. Morris?
Yes, based on the for my recommendations, Judge.
Right. Anything else as this case is concerned?
No, other than our recommendations.
Okay. All right. It does appear to the court that the child support modification has been satisfied. The proof of modification. There has been substantial material changes since the last order that was entered in this case. And based on the proof, evidence, his income, court does find that the modification is in order at this time. And based on the calculations, it does appear to the court that the child support that's being recommended is in accordance with the guidelines as promulgated by the Texas Family Code. Therefore, at this time, the court will grant the modification of the child support, $884 commencing on November 1, and Mr. Harville to provide the health insurance for the child before the court and to tender proof of that health insurance to Ms. Harville, which she's already testified that she does have that proof. Non-disclosure was not pled for in this case, so that issue is not addressed. All right. Let me see. Is there anything else, Ms. Morris, that I need to address that has not been addressed?
No, Your Honor, I think we covered everything here.
Very well. Okay, go ahead and prepare the order. Ms. Harville wants to review the order before I sign it, so I'll go ahead and send it to her. I'll set an entry of judgment on the order. Once I receive it, signed by the parties, Ms. Harville and the Attorney General, I will go ahead and sign the order. And the order will be filed and copies will be sent to the parties. All right, Ms. Harville, do you have any questions or anything else that
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Great. Okay, thank you very much for your participation today, Ms. Harwell. That will conclude our hearing for today. Parties are now excused. Thank you, Ms. Morris, for your attendance in this matter.
Thanks, Judge.
Thank you all very much. Good luck. Be safe out there.
You too. Thank you.